Hello all, welcome to the stream. Today I am going to be working with Zavi. We're going to get the shooter for the ball functioning and shooting the ball. And how's your day going, Zavi?
It's going all right, but spent the last few hours buried in Unreal over on my side trying to get this straightened out, and well, it's still being a lot like it was last time.
Yeah, that's a bummer. So you're more familiar with the code than I am, which is why I have you here. I'm on the art side, so having an artist try to code something, not the greatest idea, which is why I bring Zavi in for the code side of things. You think a lot more logically than I do on this kind of stuff. And you're also more familiar with it. I got the basics of if and statements and stuff like that, but your thoughts on things code wise is amazing. So I want to do some cleanup first. So what of this can we get rid of? I think we can get rid of this double here because we have two get transforms. Do we need both of these?
If you can actually share your screen.
Oh yeah.
Help if I
share my
screen
here. Give me a moment here. Give me one moment and I will do that. Go. There we go. Now you should be seeing what I have. Let me get to this. There we go. That worked for you. So we have these two oh wait, no. One's get actor transform, the other one's a get eyes. There's a way to zoom in. Relative transform. Okay. So I was wrong there. There are two different transforms. I'm wanting to do some cleanups though.
Yeah, so I would say go ahead. Honestly, all right, so you can keep the left mouse button and the spawn actor marble blueprint. You can keep those.
Hold on.
Okay,
so the left marble keep. And then
and that one
get
you can
this
keep.
one here, but the rest go ahead and get rid of.
Yeah, pop all those out.
Okay, so we'll delete this one. And I'm just left clicking on them and clicking delete. And what about this one here? That can be gone too?
Yeah, pop that out as well.
Okay, there we go. And so we got that all gone and cleaned up. It's a lot more cleaner because we were trying to sort of figure things out a little bit with using his code knowledge, but apparently doing things in Blueprint a little bit different.
Yeah, it's one, it doesn't have everything exposed to it. Two, you have to go kind of roundabout because you're making all of the objects like piece by piece rather than being able to just write the code out for it. So it's honestly kind of visual programming like this is basically a big step sideways from how I'm used to doing things. And trying to shift that into my normal workflow is not exactly the easiest.
You're used to just typing away. See, I wish I could do that, but with my nystigmatism, the problem with that would be is there'd be code errors and then trying to find where that problem is or trying to find that certain area in the code would be really hard for my eyes. Whereas a blueprint system, my eyes can follow easier because it's like, oh, I need to mess with something in the marble blueprint. Okay, here's the marble blueprint part, and I can just do the changes needed here. Whereas if it was all in code, it'd be the lines of code I'd be looking at and trying to find that one line just for the marble.
Hmm.
And that'd be the hard part. Whereas, visually, this kind of thing's easier on the eyes. So if you have, eyesight problems like I have, doing it with, a node-based system like this is a lot easier than going through lines and lines of code.
Mm-hmm.
But so what do we need to do next?
Well, let's see. All right, so one thing that we completely missed on it here, you're going to need to drag this off of event begin play.
Begin play.
Yeah, up left, basically the top of the 3 grayed out ones.
Okay. So take this.
Yep.
And connect it where?
Just over in an open space.
Okay. Oh, like that?
Except it should have given you a pop-up, unless it's just not showing it on my side for...
I have pop-up executable actions.
Okay. Yeah, so that's not showing up on Discord.
Okay,
but
so
let me just make sure that it's actually visible over on the stream. Okay, yes, it is visible on the stream, so everyone who's watching can actually get it.
Give me a moment. What I'm going to do is on Discord, I'm going to stop streaming. I'm going to do that. And go. What I'm going to do is just going to. There we go. That should solve that problem.
All right, let me get back over here.
And so let me drag to here again. There we go. Now you should be seeing it.
That's where it went. Hit down at the bottom edge. Okay, yes. Yeah, I can
so
see it here.
If you're ever planning on sharing on Discord what you're doing with someone with Unreal, we just learned that the executable action screen that pops up here is its own window. So if you're just sharing what's in Unreal, it will not show this executable actions. You'll have to actually share your screen. So learn something new.
Yep. And that would also explain what was going on with Roll20 the other day too.
Yes. So it will have to be a share screen with that kind of thing. But that's between us when we're sort of looking at things and not actually streaming the game. So so what executable action are we looking for?
You want to look for enable input of all things. Because otherwise, it's going to completely ignore that left mouse button event that you got sitting on there. Yep, right there. Already selected.
Enable input. Okay.
All right. Now, somewhere over to the left, go ahead and right-click.
Right-click.
We need get player controller.
Get player controller. Okay. And so I take it this plugs into this.
No, so you see the return value for the get? Drag that over to the player controller input on enable input. You're not using the exec right now. In fact, you won't be at all.
Hold on, I'm a bit confused. Let me move some stuff over here. Let me move these over here. Okay, so I'm wanting to take the what again? The player input?
So the return value over on the right.
Oh, return value. Where's that plug in?
That plugs into player controller over on enable input.
Okay.
Yep.
Do that. Let's move this over to here. I want this line. Oh. Supposed to be a way for me to be able to line. No, not what I want to do. I'll figure that out later. I want to clean up this line a little bit more so it's easier to read. What I can do actually this and just move this like that. There we go. Okay, I'm happier with that. Okay, so we got that.
Yep. Yeah, so now just go ahead, do a quick save and compile on this, just so you can see that this part here is working.
Okay. Quick save. What's this?
That's over for the level. You want down one level, so you're actually inside the node graph for the editor. Yeah.
So this. Save and have this asset.
One to the right.
Okay, this one.
Yeah, so compile it first. It'll pop up if it's got anything to yell at you about.
So it's yelling
right.
about this.
Okay, right. We need to give it a transformation first, so it can actually go ahead and land on there.
Okay, so let's go clear. Close this out. So what? Get transformation?
Yeah, so what you can do here is go ahead. Instead of get transformation, because if you wind up scaling it, that can kind of mess things up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So for now, we're just going to say get world location. And what I actually did over when I was trying this for myself, I created a secondary transformation that I basically just stuck right at the end of the barrel. And so that might be what you want to wind up doing on yours.
Yeah, so it's this one?
No, that's for a widget. Scroll down more. Okay, so let's actually go ahead and left click out of that.
Okay.
Now left click on default scene root over on your component list.
List. Looking for my component list. Yeah, that's blueprints.
Yeah, so it was up above that section.
Okay.
Down.
Okay.
2, 3.
So in my
blueprints? I mean, like individual lines. So you see just where that add is? Over left and up a little? Yeah, straight left.
Okay, right here. So click on this?
Yeah. No, 2 lines down where it says default scene root.
Okay.
Yeah, so left click on that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you... All right, so it looked like you right-clicked on it.
No.
Yeah, but anyways, it's selected. So now when you go ahead and right-click over on the graph, it's going to give you stuff relevant to that component specifically.
Okay. So we were wanting...
Get world location. There we go.
Okay. And is this transform one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And yours should be fully updated on version 5.4.2 now.
To help.
Yeah, it should be about Unreal Editor, it should say.
And my eyes are jumping around a bit.
Down.
Oh, about on 5.3.
Oh, you were on 5.3.2.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if it has a functionality or not for this. So what it actually had on mine now, if you drag from the return value of get world over to spawn transform, it actually put an automatic translator in there. So it can...
So drag to here?
Up to the orange spawn transform in the spawn actor. Yeah. Okay, yep.
Okay.
And there you go. So go ahead, recompile it.
Give me a moment here. Recompile it. Compile one through and then click save.
Yep.
And saved.
Okay, now go ahead, click back over to the main window.
So here?
Well, like the editor rather than the node graph or event graph.
Oh. I mean,
yeah, so
no, not that.
Go up like a 1/4 inch.
Oh,
It might have that overlay, so you may need to close that sub window there.
Oh, close this?
Yeah.
So this?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so have you got the shooter placed somewhere in the world?
I don't think so, but there we go. We have the shooter in the world.
All right, so you're going to want to go ahead and zoom way in on that. So I think if you double click where it says shooter blueprint on your item list that should zoom into it automatic. Not there. On your list for what's in the scene.
List of
right up.
Okay, this one.
Nope, up a little further.
Oh, okay, this.
See the next.
Oh
the
no,
next
no,
section
this.
Up, right there. Yeah, double click that.
There we go. As close as I can get.
Okay. Yeah, so
let me try just bringing up more. Being a little bit slow, but
scale may be an issue because I think. Well, either way, we'll see what happens. All right, now you see where you've got the play, step, and stop buttons up on the bar above there. You hit the 3 dots on the right.
3 dots on the right.
And change that to current camera location. Otherwise, it's going to drop your camera view over at 0, and who knows where you're going to
be. Okay, current camera location. Got it.
All right, now go ahead, hit play.
Okay. There we go.
All right, click into the window. You just click inside there.
Okay.
And left click.
Nothing.
And try and go closer now that you're actually kind of flying. Oh, that's a sphere. Something happened.
Yeah, I hit the W key to see if I could move forward, but we don't have any movement, so.
Yeah, that or your scales are completely scrambled right now. Did you double check all of those? Because, I mean, that shooter's definitely way too tiny.
Yeah, scales should be correct, but. Click on. There's that. So the problem is we're not telling it where the ball should shoot out from.
Right now we're basically saying, okay, just spawn right at the root of the object.
Okay. Let me try that again. Click. Where's the shooter?
I don't know, but...
So it is spawning. But yeah, I think there is a problem with scale.
Yeah.
We'll fix that.
I was going to say, go ahead, take a look at that, because I'm actually still having some issues with the getting it to move portion of things.
Okay.
Because a couple methods that we tried before were not behaving themselves. I did get an idea for some that might work.
Scale. Is one. I'm going to do 1, enter. 1, no. Backspace. 1, enter. 1, enter. Oh, that's the material for the shooter. Okay, that's why that's.
You keep poking away at that there. Might need to actually pop open Blender and take a look over at the scales using in that. And while you're doing that, I will go ahead and poke at the code a bit more over on here.
While you're doing that, I will bring up Blender. Bring up Blender. Gonna take a moment because, well, guess what? So there's that. Let's go file, open, don't save. Let's look for basic shooter. This is the basic shooter model. We want tap because we scale is 1, 1, one. Import FBX. Bullseye, bowling pin, bumper. FBX. Import. That. Move. That's the right size. That round size. That. Yeah, we're the right size there. What about file, import, FBX? Let's get the marble one just to make sure. Import. That not import. Import FBX. Actually, what we'll do, take these, delete, or import FBX. Want the marble one FBX. Import. Oh, getting an error. Okay, so marble one does not import well. Open. Won't save that. Let's see if we can actually open marble one. Where's marble one? Okay, so we got that. That is, I'm gonna close that down. The mesh that this is grabbing off of. Doesn't tell me, does it? Right there. Okay, yeah, it is marble too. So yeah, the marble is the right size.
All right, then what about the shooter?
The shooter's
The
the
shooter
right
definitely
size.
should not be.
Because if we go marble. Double click here. Okay, I got it fixed. For some reason, it made the shooter 100 times smaller.
Oh man. Though we have seen that happen before too, because it did that
Yes.
to us in Unity a couple times.
Yes. So in Blender, both of them show the right size.
So was it the units in Blender were set to like one was in game, one was in like centimeters, or
No, both of them were set to in meters for size.
Hmm. How do you go about fixing it?
I just basically scaled up the in Unreal. I scaled up the shooter by 100.
You know, that actually sounds like what we had to do in Unity as well.
Yeah.
Let's have to hope it doesn't mess with the transforms, because one of the things here that Unreal does, the static mesh,
Mhm.
the scale for that isn't. It's not purely visual. They kind of mixed in a whole bunch of stuff all at once.
Well,
So
because
that's something we're gonna have to look out for.
Yeah, because when I was doing Blender, there was no UI interface, and it was a lot older version of Blender when I originally made these models. What I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to go back through and take these models and do a reapply to set the scales
Mm-hmm.
back to normal for what they are.
That'd probably be good.
And that should hopefully fix the problem.
Yeah, just so we don't have to do any random tweaking on it there, because the more that you have in there, the more something's just begging to go wrong.
Exactly. I'd rather have it scaling right when we import it, but for right now, just for test purposes, I can do this.
Yeah.
And then outside, I'll go into Blender and apply the scales. And hopefully that will fix the whole entire issue. But the shading on them looks really good. Of course, they're all white models, but hey. Hello.
Yeah, I mean, if this is Unreal, if its basic shading is bad, something has gone horribly wrong.
Yes, horribly wrong. So, glad to see you here, Link. That's the name. Yeah, Linklin. Let's see. We got that put in. And
yeah, and while you're at this level here, go ahead. I'm not sure how. Oh, right. Yeah, that was actually easy enough on here. So what you want to do is go into the blueprint editor for the shooter.
Okay.
You're on the marble.
Oh, I'm
right
on
now.
the marble. Never mind.
Okay, got that little. Yep. Different folder.
Go to the shooter. Okay.
Right now, over on the left where you've got your components.
Over here?
No, upper left, where it actually has the list of components that are installed in it. Yeah. Go over to add.
Click here, add.
Yep, and go ahead, hit scene. Because what we're going to do is we're going.
Hit scene.
Yeah, it's just below point light.
Yep.
Right there.
Here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the easiest way. All right, so this is just a secondary transformation. I mean, relative to everything on it here, just call this one something like barrel end.
Okay.
All right, and over on transformation, now because you're basically doing this after you've made it into a blueprint class, this might be a little bit of back and forth on it here. Because when I did it on my side, I did this first and then turned it into a class.
Okay.
Because because location is going to be relative, and then these are effectively like 0 to 100. Like 100 is going to be the full extent of where it normally is. So like if you wanted it twice as far beyond, you'd go 200 on there. So on one of these axes is going to be pointing straight down the end of the barrel.
Yeah.
So that went to 100, and then when you go look at it over in the world, you should be able to see just which one, like which axis it's on.
Okay, so hold on. What am I saying to 100? Where?
Over on the right under details.
Oh, right on the. Okay.
Yeah, transform, location. The X, Y, and Z, one of those.
We'll do the first one. 100?
Yep.
Enter?
Enter. Yep. Just do a quick save just to make sure that gets locked in.
So save.
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and minimize this. Actually, we'll just close it. We can reopen. Okay, there we go.
Out of there. Okay, now. All right, so you clicked on the marble. Okay, go ahead, click on the shooter. So right now, the widget is over at the root of the shooter itself. So inside that list, under details, see how you've got the tree there where it goes shooter blueprint, default scene root, static mesh, barrel end? Click on barrel end.
Barrel end, okay.
And that is not shown anywhere. So go ahead, change that where it says transform, change that X back to 0.
0.
All right, and since you're actually adjusting it here, looks like it's going to be on the y-axis here. So just use the widget, move it towards the end, and let's see what sort of scale we're dealing with, because it may have just gotten completely weird.
So change the location or the scale?
Location. We don't want... Yeah, just drag that.
Let me do something real quick. Let me undo that. I want to change the scale to 100. I want to make it the same size as this is. That may be why we're not seeing anything.
Well, it was changing over on there, except
it's moving, but we're not seeing anything.
Well, it was, though. It was going at like 0.9 on it. So, because it's relative.
So let me put this back to 1 then.
Yeah. Yep. So, because you scaled it up by 100, effectively now your 0 to 1 is within the range of it.
Okay. So, we're moving this over to here.
Yeah, so you see there where the green's like at 0.8 right now. So what you can actually do, you're going to have to play around with the camera a bit to kind of get a good look at it, but place that smack basically right where you would want the marble to appear. You might actually want to move the marble back to like where it's just barely touching and use that as your reference.
Come on.
And for the people watching, the entire reason we're doing this is because now, or once this all gets set up, say there's a completely different looking shooter model on it here, where like it arcs up and like it's twice as high, and then like the barrel's offset. It's something really funky, whatever. Instead of having to figure out where exactly everything needs to go, what CC here can do is just take the barrel end transformation, move it around until it looks right, and then just save that into the base object. It's going to make life so much easier. You won't have to touch a bit of code to update that.
Oh, what? I think that's just about right. I just think we need to do the depth. You rotate this way.
And Link, this is basically the very, very early prototype stages for kind of like a mini golf type game that's kind of merged with marbles and pinball.
Yeah, so let me give a better example. So take a miniature golf course that you're playing on, right? And let's say you're playing on the first play field, right? Instead of having just one obstacle, like let's say a clown's head that will spit the ball back at you. I know, a Happy Gilmore reference, but anyways, instead of having that, what we're doing is throughout the whole entire course, we're scattering pinball objects like bumpers, rollovers, drop downs, spinners, and flippers. As the ball bounces around through those, you're gaining points. And so that's basically what it is. So it's not just going off of your score to determine your points. It's also going to go off of a pinball score, and it's going to mash the two together to give you your final score, which is really sort of an interesting idea. So I think I have this well lined up.
Yeah, it looks very good from here.
Okay, so go back into the blueprint, or...
Yeah, so basically what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to look at the position values for it over in the main window.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. All right. Okay, so our position values are 0.6 for Y and point. Hey John, how's it going? 3. That is Z. So 0.6 for Y, 0.3 for Z.
Yep. And now so you go back into the editor on the shooter.
Okay, go back to the, okay.
Yeah, inside the blueprint itself. So
hold on.
Yeah, so go ahead and bring that big list back up.
On that.
No, not that one. The down below in your content browser.
Okay.
Because you're editing the base version now.
Yeah.
All right, now over in the components section, select barrel end.
Barrel end.
And fix those location values so they now match.
Location will be 0 here.
Mm-hmm.
That was 0.6. 0.3. Done.
There you go. Now go ahead, just save that. Make sure you don't lose them. Yeah. And now it is saved in the blueprint that is going to be just about perfect. All right. And now over on the script map here, you're going to change, see where it says default scene route, just to the left of get world location.
Default scene route, yep.
Yep, go ahead. You're going to wipe that out.
So we're going to delete this.
Yep.
There we go. Delete, okay.
All right, now where you've got target, drag to the left out of that, and you should be able to instead select the barrel end. Yeah, so let's try typing barrel. Yep,
get barrel end.
Perfect.
See, I understand a bit. Just a little bit. Yep. You know, used to working with nodes. And John, to answer your question, I am doing really good. A little bit nervous because, well, it's code. And I'm not good with code, which is why we have Zabby here, who's good with code. Okay, so we got barrel end put in.
Yep, so go ahead, compile, save, and then just make sure that it's actually
where's
the
error?
We want it to. No, there is no error.
There is no error. Okay. Why it popped that box up then?
Because it had to tell you that it successfully compiled and how long it took.
Well, it could just be that, Yeah. All right. So we got that done.
Programmers need logs for everything on it there. Even if it's just a single line saying this worked properly, that's still important.
Okay. I'm just, being a graphics person, I'm not used to that. I'm just used to popping up an error message when there's an actual error. If there's no error, it's just done. So when that box popped up, like, what's wrong? It's just first instinct.
All right, let's go ahead, minimize that out, and then
Minimize
let's just
or
make
close?
sure. Either or. Again, it doesn't take long to pop
Okay.
that window open again.
Okay.
All right, so now let's go ahead, hit play again on there, and let's just make sure left click still pops the marble out.
There's the marble.
Yep, right at the end.
Yep.
And just for heck of it, spam it a bit. Because if you've got... Okay, looks like you don't have physics on the marble.
Okay, so
Otherwise,
let's
they
go
should be
ahead
kind
and
of just
hit,
pushing
you
each
hit
other out.
escape. So when you hit the play button, because the cursor disappears, just hit escape.
Yeah. You can also hit, or at least in the current version that I've got, not sure if it says it in yours, you can hit Shift F1, and that'll put you back into cursor mode.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. We're at the marble.
That marble blueprint.
Okay, marble blueprint. We need to go to...
Oh, remember, right there, you're editing the shooter. So you need to double click on the blueprint.
I switched over to ball.
Yep. Right, but because you're now working on the blueprint, you have to double click that to go into the blueprint editor.
Okay, so we need to go into blueprint editor for the marble. Because you said you wanted to add physics, so I was going to go...
Yeah, so here, I'll go ahead where it says mesh over in your component list.
Mesh.
The static mesh is integrated with the physics system.
Okay, static mesh.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So now you have, it looks like it's kind of shrunken a bit. So it's only taken up about half the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go straight to the right, this is the details section you want. If you go down below where it says 2 unsaved, then you're back over on the main window and you're in the wrong spot. So here you go. Scroll down a bit. You got simulate physics.
Turn this on.
Yep. And gravity's already enabled. Default's probably good enough, or at least for this moment.
Yeah,
this is where you'll do all your fine tuning
adjust.
to make sure it's got friction right, make sure it bounces right, all that.
Yeah.
This is where you're going to be doing it.
Yep.
That's going to be a fun time because it's always fiddly as heck.
Yes. So, okay, so that's all we need to do is just enable physics.
Yep. So just compile, save.
Compile. Of course, it's going to give us a green check mark.
Yep.
And I can close this.
Yep. Now you go back one more time.
And hit play.
Yep. Oop. Okay, so that was one that... There you go. So now we need to work on getting it to actually add velocity to it to send it flying.
Yes. So I'll hit
And
escape.
that's the part that I'm actually still working on because the stuff that logically should work doesn't. So, for example, there's a little bit on there where it's, event begin play. So normally what that's supposed to do is your object is created, and then it goes through and it'll run that event, and it'll actually go do the stuff. So if you put on it there, okay, go ahead and add an impulse to it, or add the projectile motion component to it on there. Either of which of those are going to be very useful for what we want.
Yeah.
It never actually triggers. I found out how to actually track down finally how to put a breakpoint on it. Never touched.
Oh, wow.
So there is something deeper going on that I now need to try and figure out. So this may take a little bit of poking over on your side, and I guess we'll see who gets there first.
Okay. What I was thinking is, well, I'm going to let you poke at that because I'm sure you're going to find it first. Because, code side, what I was thinking of doing is I could open up Blender and fix the whole entire shooter being 100 times smaller than the ball.
That is probably a good thing to do.
Yes. And it won't take me that long. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit here. Go to Blender. Reopen Blender. So what we want to do is we want file. We want open. Now find the shooter blend. Open. So here's that. Go tab. As you can see here, all of our scales are 1, 1, 1. And that's the way it should be. What we need to do W. No, that brings that. Go tab. We got the whole entire model right. God. Where are you? There we go. Okay, that'll look. There. Okay. Let me. Trying to think here. Do some. Okay. Oh, I was. Let's Alt. Go back here. I was thinking the wrong thing. Alt S. Go. That resets all of the scales. We'll actually go here. Alt S again. That's been saved. We'll go File, Export, and FBX. Change this to it. Nope. 2. Here. Geometry we need to change. Bases. Armature. Take off. You're not gonna bake animations. Those are all the things we need there. I got that as FBX Shooter 2. Actually, we'll just keep that as that. Go ahead. Port. There we go. Let's go file, open. Go ahead. Save. Okay, so let's file, open. Marble 2. Marble 1 doesn't work. Let's go tab. S. That's good. This one. Six. Circles. Data. App. There we go. We're gonna file. Port. We want FBX. Then we want to go down here. Geometry. By faces. Armatures. Take out the bones. Take out the baked. Export. Also do a save. There we go. That is done. So, got that done. Not gonna try to reload Unity or Unreal. As well, guess what? That's just going to take 5 minutes. That happened. See that? Good. I'm getting more used to moving around in Unreal.
That's good.
Takes some time because I'm used to the whole entire WADS system from Unity. This one, it's all middle mouse button, right mouse button type setup.
Well, it kind of has it there too. Like if you hold down right mouse, then you can use WSAD to move around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
this one you move around by holding the middle mouse button.
Yeah,
and so the left mouse button lets you rotate.
Oh, that? So left has me basically driving on a flat plane and rotate, but right actually is free look, and then drive using WASD.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, drive with WASD. Yeah, okay, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, and then you should just be able to change the angle by looking around with the right mouse down.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I see where you're coming from. That's gonna be a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of different movement options, and they aren't documented. Or at least if they are, they don't make it. We may have skipped a few tutorials and getting all this set up, so hey, that happens.
Us skip something? We're gamers. Gamers never skip reading the manual.
Yes, absolutely never. This is my honest voice, really.
Of course, I remember when you used to have to read the manual to be able to play the game because it would ask you questions.
Oh, the real old school copy protection.
Oh, yeah.
On this page, on this line, the word you're looking for is blank.
Yep.
Also, back when they basically had to fit this stuff onto really tiny floppies, so they didn't have the space for all these story events that would happen.
Yeah.
So you'd have one booklet, which is the manual. You'd have another booklet, which is kind of like the adventure journal or whatever for some RPGs. I had a bunch of those when I was a kid. And now, so normally it's just, go ahead, read through the manual, or go ahead, read through the adventure journal there, and you can see all the events that happen. except only about 1/4 of those actually happened. Because if you actually read through and pay attention, you'll see, oh, all this stuff is contradictory. Like on this event page, it says this person's just, oh, they're just the bartender. They greet you. This other page, they greet you, then pull out a shotgun and shoot you. So until you actually get told what page to turn to by the game, you don't really know what the story is.
Yeah. Okay.
But nowadays, you really don't need to worry about that because even if you're just doing plain text, you've got more space than you know what to deal with.
Yep.
But back in the old days where optimization is everything, hey, paper's cheap. Disk space is expensive. And I need to do a little bit of testing here, but I might have the getting this thing moving problem fixed.
Cool.
Got that. That feeds in over here.
Okay, that's the material. We're getting there. Now watch next time we load this in, because I put that to 100%. The shooter's going to be really, really huge, and then the ball's going to be really small. Because if that happens, well, I immediately know how to fix the problem. Just put the shooter back to 1.
Yep.
And I'll know that we solved the problem.
If you may need to go ahead and adjust the barrel end transforms again as well when that happens, but we'll see what happens. Okay. Okay, that.
The ball's going to be shooting out of the barrel pretty quick anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So we got that done. Try and come up with shooter ID. That's for shooters. Anyone who's watching the replay of this, or anyone that's in chat, if you have an idea for a design for a shooter, let me know. Just the basic design of the course is going to have a natural sort of mini golf feel. What I'm thinking of doing for the shooter is having just a putting wedge and the ball laying there, but I don't know. I like to add more marble feel. I want to have an actual marble shoot that would look good.
Remember in the initial version we didn't go with a putting wedge was because the animation that would be required to make it look good.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can probably pull that off now.
I probably could, but I'm trying to think. I want something that screams more marble. So that, the game screams a bit more the marble aspect of it. Because we got a good chunk of it showing miniature golf. We got a good chunk of it showing pinball. We need more of a chunk showing marble. And there's some level design ideas that I have that would just scream out marbles. That would be, sort of, you'd look at that and go, oh my god, oh, I do. But, because I have an area where I want to have these marbles that are on this this half pipe, just rolling back and forth, that you have to shoot through. I think that would be a cool challenge. And then have bumpers between, the start and the end of that, so that and I mean, I have the weight of the marbles that are rolling back and forth. I mean, I have them twice as big as the player marble. That way, the weight will be heavier. So when your marble gets hit, it does nothing really to the marble rolling back and forth, but it causes your marble to bounce off.
Yeah, should be able to just adjust the physics stuff on the fly there.
Yeah.
Need to track down those functions. And I mean, they are in here. It's just, it can be annoying to try to find them sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Move the ball.
Still digging in. I'm getting closer.
That's good.
You'll still want to do a little something else for our next little bit here.
Yeah. Playing with the ball, it's off just by hair. That's about as good as I can. Ooh, I know what I can do. That's the Z. Objects. Try this. Trying to align the marble. That. That's a line. Ooh, no. But that's mirroring. Because it says transform. It says select a line. I'm not seeing line option. It not giving me the option to align. I'll into that some more. Because I just looked up how to align two objects in Unreal. And well, there's no option to align objects. Can do. Go ahead. I went. Okay. Ah, there's another way.
All right. So after some more research, what I've discovered so far
Mm-hmm.
is yes, it is saying the velocity, and the root transform is updating. However, it is oh, okay, maybe, but it should be going after the. I don't know. I might be going down the wrong rabbit hole here. But what's happening is the initial kind of the scene root transformation for it. That's updating. It's by the time I'm able to pause it, it's thousands of units away.
Mm-hmm.
But the actual static mesh with the collider and the object itself, that's staying put.
Hmm.
So maybe
Could it be that the two colliders are sort of stopping each other? In other words, it put a box collider around the shooter, and then it has the collider for the ball, and because the way it's spawning in the ball, the two are intersecting each other, and that's what's stopping the movement.
I checked that on there. And I can see where, okay, it spawns it out, it pushes that out to the very top of the barrel, because I guess my root points aren't quite set like the exact center of the models, because I'm just using the default shapes in here.
Mm-hmm.
But after I disabled all collisions on the shooter itself, it's still doing the exact thing. Same
Oh,
thing.
okay.
So that's not what's causing it.
Okay.
It's probably a factor, but it's still weird.
Yeah. Do you like that Unreal saves? It doesn't autosave every so often.
Yeah, I bet that is something that they really needed to go through, because and can you imagine if the program itself was a bit more on the crashy side?
Yeah, that'd
Because
be
I mean,
bad.
it's Unreal Engine, it's fairly demanding,
It is.
and yeah, and if it didn't, because I know like with Unreal, like all of its own little subcomponents. Actually, yeah, no. Then why am I saying Unreal? I meant with Unity. Completely wrong thought train there. I'm back with Unity on it. Like a lot of the individual editing would be doing in external editors on there, but yeah, that one did not have an autosave.
Yeah.
So yeah, if Unity crashed, well, you're back to wherever you were before.
You're back to the last manual save you did. And if you ain't doing manual saves, you're starting from scratch from the very beginning. So what I'm going to do is I need to take a few minutes break. So I'm going to put the be right back up. I'm going to let you sort of continue doing what you're doing. And I will be back in a few.
Yep, hopefully we'll get to the bottom of this by the end of today. Finally.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, hey, we got some things adjusted. We got the ball and the shooter to be the right size, and we know what's causing that. And we just gotta fix it so that we're not having to scale things up in game, but have things the right scale. But anyways, and then we also got it spawning the ball and trying to shoot it, or just getting it to actually shoot and go somewhere besides just falling.
Yeah.
Anyways, be right back. Okay, I am back.
And I have good news.
Figure it solved the problem.
Well, I haven't solved it 100%. It's now going the exact opposite direction it should be, but it's actually moving on its own. So that is improvement.
It is.
All right, so we're going to get to deal with a new feature that I don't think you've seen before over on the node editor here.
Okay, so let me go into the node editor for the shooter, right?
For now, okay. Actually, we're going to be doing the majority of this over on the marble to start with.
Okay, so let me go to the ball. Okay, I'm in the node editor for the ball.
All right. So over on the left, you see where it says variables. It'll be down near the bottom of that middle window.
Okay, yep.
All right. Click the plus.
Click the plus here.
On the same line where it says variables, see a little plus on the right.
Click the plus.
All right. So this one, we're just going to call it speed.
Okay.
And where it says Boolean, you're going to change that over to float.
Oh.
Left a little. There we go.
We'll float. Okay.
All right. Now over on the right in the details.
Over on the right in details. Okay.
We want instance editable.
Instance editable.
And expose on spawn.
Expose on spawn. Okay.
All right, so there should be enough to get started with. So go ahead, compile, save.
Pile. Saved.
All right. And so now, also over on the left here, where you have functions and construction script.
Functions. Okay, construction script.
Yep, open that up. So just double click it. All right, you're getting to hand this a little bit so it's visible.
Okay.
Yeah, that's zooming out. So you can just right click drag to move around and to move the screen itself around.
Yeah. I'll zoom in more. Click drag. There we go.
Okay. So this is actually where you set all the initial values, which kind of makes sense given its construction script, but it wasn't entirely apparent at the start, so I had to dig around a bit to find that. Anyway, now that we've got this, so over, okay, and we're actually need to do this over here as well. Over in components, now you're going to want to hit add, and now we're finally going to put projectile movement on this thing. So up one section.
Oh, up here?
Yeah, up further.
Oh, click that here.
No, so that's for additional stuff inside the blueprint. So one section up from there.
Oh, here. Click
from
that in function?
No, so from where you were. So up left, you see the green plus for add.
Yeah, right here.
Go to the one above that.
Oh, this one.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And what am I in?
Projectile movement, all one word. There you go.
Right here.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, name's fine. Don't really need to adjust that any.
Okay.
So what you're going to do is you're going to drag that over into the blueprint area. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, and now from here, what we're going to do is we need to combine a couple things together so that it'll actually do everything properly.
All right.
So you see from the little node on the right end of projectile movement, drag that out to the right.
Oh, projectile
that's construction script.
So, okay. Let go?
Yep.
What am I searching for?
Set initial speed. So separate words. So space IT. Okay. IAL. There you go. You see variables projectile set initial speed for green.
Yeah.
Yep. So like that.
Okay.
And now over on the left where you've got your variables list, you're going to drag speed out onto the grid.
Variables list, drag speed out. Okay, and where do I place it?
Just right there is fine.
Okay.
You can make it. So then select get speed.
Get speed.
And connect that over to the left where it says initial speed.
That there. I'm going to move this up. I'm just
Mhm.
a bit OCD about this.
Right. And so from the function, the little play button on the right side of construction script, you're going to send that over to where set starts.
So put that here.
Yep. Yeah, so now the script will start. It'll go to set. It's going to grab the value initial speed in projectile movement, and I'll set it to whatever variable you have in speed.
Okay.
And Vast had a great bit of timing on there, but we'll ignore that. So, next, I go ahead, drag out from the function to the right on set, as you've got it on the grid there.
Okay. So here?
Yeah, just drag that to the right a little. All right, so now you want set max speed.
Okay. That one. Okay.
All right, and for now, just drag across from it where you see the green dot to the right where it says initial speed. Like immediately.
Yeah, right here?
That one there. Yeah, just connect that over. We're just going to type the same value across for now.
Okay.
And you need to connect projectile movement over to target.
Projectile movement over. Okay.
Yeah, the blue line.
Take this, connect that to there.
Yep.
Okay.
And now you want to drag out from the new set one more function.
So from here, drag out.
Yep. And now here you want set updated component.
Okay.
All right. So target is again going to be projectile movement.
So take this, that there.
Yep. And now over on the left there, we've got variables. You see components mesh.
Variables.
Yeah, you're all.
Oh, mesh right here.
Yep. Drag that out, and you hook that up to your new updated component.
Put that there. Get mesh.
Yep.
Like that.
Yes. All right. So compile and save this.
File. Save. Okay.
All right. Now you need to go back into editing the blueprint for the shooter.
Okay. So we'll go to the shooter. Okay. Run the shooter.
All right. And now you see over in the spawn, there's an additional variable in there, speed.
On. Looking for my spawn here.
Straight to the right. Spawn actor marble blueprint.
Oh, okay. Right here. Yeah, I see speed. Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to create a variable for the shooter, which you can call it speed, power, whatever you want. Basically, this is how fast it's going to shoot it out.
Okay. And so with that, it's click on this, right?
So that's components. You want to go down in the graphs section, down to variables, and add from there.
Graphs.
All right, so down
to variables.
Yep.
Okay.
Plus.
And plus. And then what was this? We're going to call this again?
Call it speed, call it power. Speed's probably just so it's identical on there.
Okay. Speed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And make sure to change that to a float.
How do I keep doing that? Click here. Change that to a float.
Yep. And
then drag this on.
Later. Yeah, before you drag that on, go ahead, turn on expose on spawn as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I can drag it on.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because
so
during the game flow, you're probably going to be creating and destroying the shooters as the game turn goes on. So this way, you'll be able to pop it out as needed.
I get speed again, right?
Exactly.
Okay, and this plugs into speed, right?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So go ahead, compile, save this.
File, Save. Okay.
All right, and now let's head out over into the actual editor here. Select the shooter in the world.
Got the shooter in the world.
All right. Now go ahead. It'll be easiest to find if you go under General or Inside Details. Yeah, you've got the different tabs there, like General, Actor, blah, blah. Select General there, and we should see the variable right. Get down. Just below the search bar.
Just below. Oh, just. Okay.
Yeah,
General.
right there. And there you go. Default speed. Let's go ahead, call that 500.
500? 500 is put in.
Okay. And you no longer need the marble in the world itself. And that might cause
Take
a little bit
marble,
of weirdness.
and we'll hit the. There we go.
Okay.
Hit play.
Uh,
Or is there something else we need to do?
I think the shooter's collision you haven't set yet. So go to the physics tab for the shooter from the right.
Physics.
Okay, no, it's going to be on the static mesh inside. So you need to, inside the details, you need to select the static mesh component first.
Okay. So I selected the.
No, so over. We're still dealing with the right-hand pane here.
Okay.
All right. So down one section in the details.
In the details. Okay. Oh, static mesh. There we go. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So in
physics,
here.
Simulate physics.
No, we're going to leave that off. Scroll down a bit. A bit further, we want to see the collision section.
Oh, collision. That's right.
All right. It's currently set to block all dynamic. So select that drop down.
Okay.
And let's just call it no collision. Just to make sure that that's not going to be a factor. You might want to fine tune that later, but yeah.
So we got that set.
Now, let's try playing.
Play.
I might need to move the camera around. You should be able to do that with, just look, WASD. So just kind of loops out the end, has forward velocity. Of course, it's not the direction of forward that it's going isn't the direction that it's aiming at. So that's the next thing, is trying to get these things aligned.
Yeah.
So we're going to need to figure out the spawn transformation on this.
Wouldn't that be get transformation function?
It should be able to, as long as you've, but so this is where scaling it is going to be getting a little funky here, because it's going to grab all those factors. So,
well, can't you just limit it to one and say, hey, get the transformation of this?
Yeah, so there should be a. All right, there is a make transform in here. All right, so yeah, go ahead, escape back out of that, and we will go back into the shooters grid here.
So, okay, go back into the node there.
Okay, so you see that little transition one there where it goes from yellow to orange?
Oh, this right here?
Yeah, just that one block right in the middle. It has nothing actually written on it. Yeah, click that. Delete it.
Okay.
All right, you're going a little bit of open space somewhere. So like, just go straight down, whatever. All right, now in that area, go ahead, right click. You're looking for make transform. Yep, that's the one.
Okay.
All right, so you want to drag get world location over to location.
Oh, okay. Get locate. Okay. Get location to location. Done.
All right, and now you're also going to want to do so drag out from barrel end Yeah, the blue line there, just drag out another one.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to want to do get world rotation.
Okay.
And then plug that over into make transform.
Okay.
All right. And so scale, we will leave at all ones.
Mm-hmm.
And now drag return value, which will give you a transform, over to spawn transform.
Okay.
And now we should have filtered out any actual scaling size issues.
Yep.
Go compile, save.
File, save, and test.
Yep. And it is still blooping off in a random direction. So, but it seems consistent. So, go ahead, back out of the test. Just turn the shooter 90 degrees.
Okay, so let's go here. Need general rotation. This 90. Whoa.
Yeah, maybe not the 90 you're looking for.
Yeah. 0. There we go.
Okay. And let's see if it's at least consistent with the offset. So it should be going towards the upper right. Okay, it is.
Is.
So this probably means that the mesh itself is not properly aligned.
What do you mean? So you mean that the pivot point on the mesh is not centered?
Yeah, so basically, so the mesh should be pointed straight down one axis on it here.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like it's been rotated by about 45 degrees.
Okay, let me check that in Blender. Search. We'll go here. File. Open. We're wanting. Where is Marble 2? Oh, zeros. And as you can see, the pivot point is right in the center. Because here's the locations. And the rotations and everything. Everything's default values.
And what about for the shooter?
Let's check the shooter. File, open, decent, basic shooter. Same thing. Tell you what, how about we call this a night? Since I already have these resaved out and it's pulling from those files, the next time it loads up, we'll check it then.
Yeah, so maybe it just didn't re-import them as expected on there. Maybe there's something else going on. But it's an improvement. So you can now create the marble.
Yep.
And it will move off on its own and be affected by its initial speed and by gravity.
Exactly.
So that's the first step. Now you just need to actually be able to shoot straight.
Yeah. Because I don't think people want it dramatically pulling to the left like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be great for a bank shot, and being able to do something like that would be a great for the battle mode and saying, hey, make the ball pull a bit to the left, a bit to the right. Would be a cool effect.
Yeah, like a crooked sights debuff sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but first we get it working right. Then Then once you got it working right, then you know how you can actually mess with it for later.
Yeah. So let me go file. Actually, we'll just click save here.
Yep.
Oh no, that's save. Yeah. Saved everything else. So we're good here. So we'll continue this next Monday and see what happens. We'll both do some research. I'll do some research on the modeling end. You do some research on the code end.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll collab offline on what's sort of causing that and go from there. I hope people watching this have learned a lot with us. And you guys all have a good night.
Night, everyone.